I'm gonna be honest. Social interaction just feels overwhelming right now. I spent a lot of time catering to Tyler and our friends, and I'm pretty sure all those people are gonna take his side. Starting from scratch just feels like too much work. I'll be your friend. I mean, feel free to say no if you don't. No, it's not no. I don't know what to say. You're so matter of fact about it.
People who pass up on making new friends are the same people who complain about not having any. Girl, beggars can't be choosers. Be my friend. Come on.
Okay.
There is one condition.
Oh my God, already? Complicated friendship.
Hey,
Oof.
it will be sometimes. People are complicated.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Deku In Depth. I'm your host, Ross, and we are here with two of the creatives in charge of a new Deku series. Please welcome Jono Mitchell and Andres Eriksson. How are you two guys?
Good, yeah,
Good.
doing great.
Yeah,
Good,
Thank you for
wonderful. What if that was the entire interview?
that was it. Done.
Great.
Thank you
That's
for
easy for
watching.
me.
Back Together, coming soon.
Can you both talk about kind of the genesis of the idea for this?
It's a 6-episode digital series that sort of showcases two men as they navigate their very complicated friendship. The idea sort of came about when I was navigating my own complicated friendships with a few people as they made the decision to sort of take the leap and leave the city we're in. We're in Atlanta, and they decided to sort of move away. And I had feelings about it. And I sat down and wrote a short film, which became the 3rd episode, I'll Call You Mine. And we made that off the bat.
He's an actor.
So he's a waiter?
Bitch, he is working. He's doing ragtime at the Park Theater.
Park Theater?
Yeah, it's just outside the city.
How far?
It's like minutes away. What are you doing? Dude, do not look up how far away it is.
45 minutes. This city is 45 minutes. from the
Jersey is
theater.
not that far.
Hey, he's off Broadway. Okay.
Why are you so determined to dislike this man? You don't even know him.
Okay, you've met him like once. You fucked on a day trip. Dating this aggressively the day you get there just seems
Proactive?
I took it to Brian at Deku, and he was like, I want to see more of these characters. I want to live with them a little bit more. I really want to sort of explore this friendship further. And he was like, this feels like the start of something. And I was like, no. This is the middle. I think that there is like a very clear beginning and end that I would love to explore versus just dropping us into this scenario. And we did, we sort of built out, what the beginning looked like and what the end looked like. And I think, Andres can talk a little bit about sort of the acting genesis and getting to know Robbie and what that experience was like.
Oh God, putting me on the spot. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was just going off of whatever Jono was telling me about this. I mean, he was telling me about his experiences with this character, and I was trying to, take that in, understand that, and then pull from my own experiences with my own friendships. And there's complications in friendships, and that part I definitely understood. And I just thought, I don't know, what you gave me was great. I loved what was on the page. It was awesome.
Thank you.
There isn't really a hero or a villain. Like, sure, Andres, your character, we kind of see things more through his perspective, but at the same time, it's not that Cameron is this monster or somebody that is really intentionally leaving Robbie away. It's just they are in such different places in their lives, and they are, bad together.
Yeah.
Andres, I'm curious how you kind of approach this very, I guess, nuanced way of being this person that's hurt, but not necessarily, it's not anybody's fault. It's just you're kind of working through things and using Cameron as that sort of cipher.
I loved that the script was not so, this is like you said, this is the good guy, this is the antagonist. It was complicated, you know. Good people do bad things, bad people do good things. Nobody's a good person, nobody's a bad person. So I kind of just had those thoughts in mind when I was going for it. And, you know, my own person, I'm not always a good person, not always a bad person. So it felt very natural coming from the script that Jono had given me. So.
Well, get some rest. Call me when you get into town, okay? I'll look at my calendar tomorrow. We can set some dates for me to come up and see you. So, and I want to know all about that date. You got to tell me when he drags you across state lines to, I don't know, see him dance in the chorus of some local production of The Music Man or whatever.
45 minutes is not that far.
I could hop a plane to another state in that time.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, you know I would.
Is there anything you want to tell me before I leave?
I don't know what you want me to say.
I kind of want you to tell me to stay.
Yeah, well, I kind of want me to tell you that too, but that is selfish. I can't be the thing that keeps you here. You don't want to stay.
I could want that, okay?
No, don't kiss me
Why
again.
not? Why not?
You were leaving in a few hours.
So what?
Okay, if you stay, then what?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was really important for me to sort of explore those things on the page. And I think as the writer at the end, sort of stepping away from it, I was like, ooh, Robbie didn't come out as clean as I thought he would. I think in my original outlines and in my original sort of arc of the story, I thought that it was going to be a lot more clear that, like, you know, this point of view maybe wasn't tailored towards Cameron. And I think now as I watch it, I'm like, no, Cameron's redemption is like maybe my favorite part of the show, and like seeing Cameron's growth. And I think that has a lot to do with Queer Nero being like so charismatic and so phenomenal in that role. And just he is very hard as a person to not love and enjoy. And I think that he brings that quality to Cameron. And I know that the people that Cameron is based on, they are very similar. It's like, it's very hard to not love you. And I'm glad that sort of came through in the writing.
Jono, speaking of the writing, you've mentioned that this kind of sprung from your own hardships. And actually, when I was writing the series, one of the questions I wrote was, who hurt you?
Listen, I don't want to name names. They know who they are. And what's great is, you know, sort of the person who was the main basis of Cameron and sort of the one that I took the most from. He and I sat down together and we watched the whole thing together. And I was able to like have a really cathartic talk with him about like why I felt this way and sort of what I took away from our experiences as friends and how I sort of embellished here and embellished there and really like outlined it. And he told me, like, you know, what he did and didn't enjoy about the series. And mainly what he didn't enjoy was that I made certain creative choices that he felt were too sad. And I thought that was really funny. But, you know, it's not just one person. You know, I think that this project comes on the heels of another project that's available on Deku called Miles from Nowhere, which is also sort of a more aggressive look at toxic friendship and why we cling to the things that we shouldn't cling to. And when I look at that, I see a lot of things that I would change, and I see all of those things sort of come to fruition in this, where, you know, it's the things that hurt me and the things that I celebrate, and it's the joy and the hardships that have come together to make something that I sort of feel is cathartic and is not as terrible as I remember in the moment.
You two are in Atlanta, and a big part of the show is that Cameron moves to New York. How do those queer communities differ, if you can speak to that? Just, I'd love to know how that informed the show.
Anytime I have gone to New York, specifically having grown up in the South, I have felt that without sort of a guide, I feel very out of place. I feel very distant from like sort of what's going on. And it took a couple of visits to like actively feel like, oh, I can navigate the city on my own. I can go to these places on my own if I need to. I don't sort of need a Sherpa. And I think that using that in the show and really exploring the way Robbie feels like an outsider within this in this world, and to some degree the way Cameron, I think, feels a little like an outsider within that world was really important, because it was just my own feelings about how much those communities differ from a sense of like, just sort of the more fast paced. It's more vibrant in terms of community there. Like we have a very vibrant queer community here, but it's like, there's less gay people around. So I think, just sort of access to the community as a whole is what's so different. And I think that taking Robbie and Cameron out of sort of the little bubble of Atlanta that they had, where they were really allowed to only focus on each other and sort of what was within their friendship, and now opening it up to this large thing where, oh, anything is possible. And you hear, Cameron tells a story about a guy who has a boyfriend in every borough, and like these are the things that you're not going to hear in Atlanta, and I think that it's a cool dichotomy to sort of like make that comparison.
Okay, Cameron.
Emma.
It's a special thing when a friend of a friend becomes your friend. You dove right in, and you never leave any good deed left undone or any good words left unsaid.
Your turn.
Ugh, my turn. Like I won't talk to you every day.
Well, just one nice thing. It won't be the same. Go.
I don't feel like,
God, it is not that hard, is it? Jesus.
No, it's not. It's not. Okay.
Jesus.
I don't think that I've ever met anyone like you. And I've had a lot of friendships, a few close ones, but I don't know, I always felt different about us. And I guess I'm afraid that that kind of friendship won't exist with anyone else. And I think I'm gonna miss feeling like someone understands me. But I won't miss how mean you get when you're drunk.
To me, at least, the whole thesis of Bad Together is this idea that these two people, they kind of met under emotional circumstances and they just like never can really get in sync. But when you meet or re-meet somebody from your past or a specific point in your life, you kind of revert back to that state, and it takes a lot of effort to kind of show evolution. And Andres, I think you did a great job with that on the subway, where you're just like, spoiler, like this is too much. I can't handle this right now.
Sophie makes me feel so cool. And Mike is great. He knows everyone. And God, Ngozi. They remind me a lot of you. No bullshit. Just truth and loyalty. You'd like each other if you talk.
Does Ngozi not like me?
They just don't know you like I do.
How's the guy?
What guy?
The guy you fucked in the bathroom?
It was fine. His cute little ass sucked my dick for like 2 minutes.
I kind of felt like I had to fend for myself tonight.
I thought you were having fun.
Yeah, no, I came all this way so you could leave me with strangers while you fuck some dude in the bathroom.
Well, I thought you liked my friends.
I didn't come here for them. You kept saying how much better life is here for you all night long.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah? Yeah, no, tonight really gave me the sense that I was temporary. A stepping stone to better things.
You mean everything to me.
But I didn't like who I was back there.
So is this who you are now? Or were all along, I guess?
Part of me. Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely think of the people in my life that I probably have a similar Robbie Cameron relationship with.
Yeah, I really, really wanted to sort of keep this grounded and to keep it universal and to showcase queer friendship specifically in a way that I feel like I had never seen before. I think that kiss in the bathroom, spoiler alert, in episode 3, I think that the kiss in the bathroom is necessary because I think that it's an integral part of queer friendship to have those moments of like, is this a thing? But to have it sort of like be this come and go thing where it's like there's no romance. And Robbie very quickly shuts that down, right? Like this is not a romantic thing. This is about friendship first and foremost, and how we as queer people may really dislike one another or like sort of be at odds with one another, but still deeply love one another and show up anyway. I think that's also really a big part of the thesis for me.
Jono, you mentioned earlier that this is your fourth or fifth foray with Deku. What kind of keeps bringing you back, and how do you kind of determine the different sides of queer storytelling that you're going to focus on for an individual project?
In queer storytelling, for me, it's really important to look at the sort of the universal aspects of it. I think that we hear a lot of stuff about like queer pain and queer joy as if those are the only two emotions that queer people experience. And, you know, you sort of see this fight of like, well, you know, bury your gaze and that trope and this and that. And I think that all of those things are sort of like integral to what we do, right? Queer pain is an integral part of the queer experience. I think that we as queer people sort of go through that every day. And even now, as things sort of are like really bad politically, we're seeing a lot of it, you know, sort of this queer pain resurface. But, you know, I think about like queer joy, and queer joy is the ability to unabashedly be yourself and showcase the same experiences that everyone else has. If I'm Good, which is you know, one of my favorite projects that's available on Deku, that's about queer grief and grieving in a way that everyone grieves, and showing this sort of like universal feeling. Or this Bad Together is a story about queer friendship, and then you've got you know, Making a Scene in 30 Candles are queer rom-coms, and then, you know, Miles from Nowhere is another story about queer friendship that's not sort of inherently queer, but it explores, you know, sort of the way queerness informs other people's lives, and the way that it informs friendship for someone who may not sort of align with queerness, right? I like taking a look at things that I feel like no one else is sort of really exploring. And what I love about Deku, you know, and that team is that they give me the opportunity to do so. And are fully supportive in that endeavor, and also provide a platform where you can find all of those emotions and feelings, not just from me, but from a lot of very talented filmmakers and writers and performers who either identify as queer or don't. It's a great place to explore, you know, any sort of facet of queer storytelling and queer life that you want.
Just out of curiosity, quick last question for Andres. Do you have any kind of hopes or thoughts about where Robbie heads to after the end of this story? Not to put you on the spot and come up with a complete original story.
I don't know that I've really thought about that after. I kind of just hope that he's, I don't want to say happy. We were just talking about like what is seeking happiness really, but I mean, I don't know. I would hope that he's got his shit figured out and he can handle his friendships better and kind of sit with his emotions better and analyze how he's feeling and what he wants. And I guess that's what you would want from anybody after an experience like that, I suppose. But just being a better friend, you know? It's just being a better friend. I hope he's being a better friend.
Maybe he's a better boyfriend and husband than he is.
A better everything, yeah.
I love that. All right. Jono Mitchell, Andres Eriksson from Bad Together, thank you so much for joining us. And you can watch Bad Together on Deku. Have a great day. Thank you for joining us.